hello. It's so nice to see so many of you. And I will just start by saying this is being recorded, this session, because I will be popping it onto my Patreon, but also onto YouTube for everyone to catch up that can't come, because I appreciate that there's lots of different people in lots of different time zones, and I wanted to kind of make it fair for everyone. So if you're not wanting to be recorded, just turn off your camera, but obviously it's super nice to see so many faces on here. So if you feel brave enough to keep your camera on, that's brilliant. And it's also really nice to see some regular faces that I see every month on Patreon. I'm waving at you. You know who you are. And especially some I haven't seen in a while, so that's really nice. And yeah, I just wanted to welcome you all, say thank you so much for coming. You may already follow me, you may know exactly who I am and what I do, or you might have been invited along by a friend, so you don't really know me much, or you've just started following me and you thought, this looks like something I'd like to join. So I just thought I'd start by telling you a little bit about myself. So I'm Becca. Hi everyone, I'm seeing the chat's going mad, which is super nice, and I'll talk about the chat in a second. I am a full-time professional illustrator. I'm a children's book illustrator. I also do illustrated mats, giftware. I have my full own range of giftware that I sell online and through wholesale. And I have a Patreon, which I'll talk about in a second. I'm represented by the Bright Agency, which is super exciting. So hey to anyone from there, if anyone's joining. And yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my Patreon. So this might be the first ever drawing Zoom you've ever done, and you're a bit like, what is it going to be? And the anticipation of everything is like, what if other people are better than me or whatever? It's not about that. It's a super chill evening. And this is what I do every month on my Patreon. So I host a live drawing session, and we just have a chat and a draw. And some days you'll find you're drawing great, and other days you might be like, today's not my day. But whatever happens, you've had a really nice time and a really nice like connection with other people, just chatting about materials or your work or life or holiday destinations. And then I also on my Patreon have a few different tiers. So if you're kind of like, oh, I did that Zoom, but actually I don't know if I could do that every month, I do some tutorials that I upload every month. So there's 2 a month based on which tier you're on. So I have a basic one, which is £5 a month, and you get 1 video a month, which is kind of based around how to draw. I'll just spotlight myself, actually. Sorry, I should have done this before. It's based around how to draw. So if you're new to drawing and you're just desperate to kind of have some guidance to get going, and you're thinking, oh, I'd love to know how to draw landscapes or elephants or other animals or buildings or boats or whatever, I've got so many tutorials on there, and I keep uploading new ones every month. So when you join, you get access to all my old ones, and you get new ones every month. So you can just like fill a sketchbook. And then I have my next tier, which is advanced techniques, which at the moment I'm running a 7-day free trial. So if you really enjoy tonight and you're like, I want to do a bit more of this, head over to my Patreon. I'll send a link to it in a little follow-up email, and I'll pop it in the chat as well. In that one, I talk more about different materials and lots of drawing on location. I do Q&As, sketchbook tours, and my illustrated book tours, and all that kind of like next level thing. But you can be any ability to join that as well. And then the top tier, you get both of those, and you get my live Zoom as well, which is 1 a month. So yeah, if you enjoy tonight, you might kind of want to go over to my Patreon and have a check of that out, and maybe try the 7-day free trial as well to see what's on there. But I really hope you enjoy it. Just also a little hello to Ben. Ben is downstairs. He will be keeping an eye on the chat because there's so many of you on here. So he's going to be keeping an eye, sending any questions my way or replying to any that kind of need replying to that don't need announcing. But if you're like, oh, I really want to know this, or she's just mentioned this, you can either unmute yourself and just ask. I'm here and I'm not scary. I will answer away. But if you're like, oh, I don't really want to ask on Zoom in front of people, completely get it. Just pop it in the chat and I'll make sure to answer it for you. And any that I don't answer, I will make sure to kind of do a little follow-up afterwards, along with like sending the link for this. And I'll talk about tonight's plan in a second, but I just want to like reiterate, it doesn't matter what ability you are. It was so great to see all of you answer that answered the like question about how often do you draw, that I've sent a little link out for, because it was such a really nice mix. You've got people that draw regularly, but you've got people that want to draw a bit more, that don't feel they don't draw enough, and then people that have never really drawn and just really want to get into it. So drawn. So it's really nice to have such a mix on here. So don't feel like you're going to be the odd one out or anything. It's just about having a go. So tonight we are going to start by doing 32 drawings in 32 minutes, which I know might sound terrifying, but actually it's really not, because when I did a test recently, and you might have seen like on my Instagram stuff, and I did these, and I did I think there's 18 drawings on here in 16 minutes, but you basically just fill a page without really worrying about each individual drawing, because you're just focusing on the time and just being like, just get something down. And it's so good not to over worry, because it's really, if I kind of came in and said, now we're going to sit and we're going to draw this one seal for half an hour, you might be like, I don't know where to start. Whereas you don't really have much chance to kind of think about it. And so it's a great way of just filling a page, getting some things down. There'll be some you hate, some you love, and some that don't look anything like what you're trying to draw. That always happens. And then we're going to draw 3 of them again, but 10 minutes each. So we're going to kind of slow down. That might be when you bring out different materials. You might have some brush pens or paints or pencil crayons, but I would really recommend for the first bit just to use a pen or a pencil. So because a minute is very quick, it can be a lot if you're suddenly trying to pick a color and then you're like, right now I need to add some detail. So if you've just got like a pen or a pencil to hand, then that is ideal. Or even like a pencil crayon, but just a single color, because then you're not having to kind of use that part of your brain. You're just using the like side that's just trying to get something down that represents what we're looking at. So I'm going to start by using my Fude Pen, which is like a fountain pen type pen. I will pop the link for this as well in the follow-up email if it's something that you like the look of. I think it's like £15 from my memory, so it's not too bad, and that's how I made these guys. So it kind of gives like a dip pen and ink type of style. And then I've got some pencil crayons out, and I've got some brush pens, which are basically like fancy felt tips, which I'm going to be using for the last 3. I also feel like I started to talk about myself and then didn't talk about myself too much. So I said what I do, but also I grew up in the Lake District. I loved living in the lakes, but when I hit 28, I decided to make my dream move that I have always wanted to do and always thought, I'm going to do this when I retire. But actually I was like, why wait till I retire? So I moved down to Cornwall. So I'm here now in Newquay, and I absolutely love living by the sea. It's like been my dream, and I surf and I skate, and my 2 dogs, Pippa and Evie, are with me, and I met Ben here, and this life is just like, it's kind of pushed my work and everything in a whole new way. Just the ocean is amazing. So yeah, I love that. And trying to think of anything else I do out of drawing, but basically it's that kind of coastal living that I grew up basically thinking, oh, I don't like sports, I'm not good at sports, I'm not sporty. And I told everyone, I'm not a sporty person. And I realized I just hadn't found the sports that were for me. So it was all about the ocean and what's linked around that. So that's why I love being here. And I would love to know, like later when we have a chance to chat a bit more, if like anybody else has made any moves in their life that they kind of was big and they followed their dream. That's really cool. But in the first section, in the first half hour, I would try my best to do a bit of chatting. But because there's lots going on and they're really quick, I don't want to try and distract you by asking any questions like, what are people up to today? Because a minute goes by so quickly. So it'll be kind of little bits of chat, but I just want us to get into the rhythm, because the quicker you can move from one picture to another, the better. And then that's when afterwards we can have a little bit of a chill and we can chat and slow down. So if I'm a bit quiet in the first half hour, it's on purpose. But I will remove my spotlight because I'm going to share my screen. I will try and pin my desk as well. I've got my desk here, and I'm also, which I just need to do now, record my screen from above, so I can do a little time lapse so you can see that angle as well afterwards. But hopefully I've chatted on now for a little bit, but hopefully we're all okay. Any questions, throw them in the chat, but hopefully you can all hear me and you haven't just been looking at my mouth moving. I will share this. Have we all got, let me just pin my desk, and hopefully you will see me and my desk at the side. Have we all got our pens ready? We're going to go straight in. I don't think I need to say anymore. I say that and I literally, oh, there it is, lost my pen. Okay, so we're going to do a minute each. Do not worry. If you're thinking you don't know where to start, just start small. So don't try and fill a page. Just do like start in your top corner, and you can kind of explode onto the page as we go along. And the smaller you draw, the more detail you can kind of add in. Whereas if you go really big, obviously it's like harder to add detail within that minute. Okay, we are going to start a minute starting now. And the first one is always the most nerve-wracking. I'll try and kind of keep you posted as much as possible with updating you on time. So you've got 30 seconds left, just to give you an idea of how quick a minute is. Ten seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. So we're going to go straight on to the next. So stop and 1 minute, go. And you might want to vary the size of things you draw. So some might want to be slightly bigger than others. Don't worry about trying to draw all of the flower. This first part's all about the animals. They are the shining stars. Oh. Don't know what's happened there. Sorry guys, are you all there? Okay, that's your minute. We're going to go on to a slightly harder one. Minute starting now. So just think about your space if you're starting with its head, just because of that wingspan. But you might want to do the whole overlap too. You've got 10 seconds left on this one. You can see how you can quickly fill a page when it goes this quickly. Okay, on to the next. We got this, guys. Okay, a minute starting now. You've got 30 seconds left. Good thing about this, guys, you don't have to worry about his feet if you don't want to, because they're not there, they're in the grass. Okay. And a minute on this next one, I'm just going to say, if you want to just do one bird, just do one bird. Don't feel like you have to fit both in. So this 1 minute now. Hopefully you're starting to feel like you're getting used to the 1 minute timing, but if you're not, do not worry. Sometimes it can take a while to get into the flow. Got 30 seconds left. Ten seconds. Okay. Straight onto this one. This little cutie. I'll just zoom in a little bit on this one so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so this little hedgehog, 1 minute starting now. It's also like fitting a puzzle together, this exercise, because it's kind of learning where you can squeeze in your drawings. We will be drawing this one again afterwards because he or she is very cute. But if there's any of these pictures that you love, you can obviously watch the replay and just pause if there's ones you're wanting to draw again and slow down. You've got 13 seconds left. Okay, these minutes are so quick. Right, on to the next. This stalk, 1 minute starting now. You can see why it's a lot easier if you're just keeping the one like material in your hand and you're not having to think about moving. But it's really good, this, for also like life drawing, if you're out and about and wanting to draw people, you get, because obviously people move a lot, and it's a really good practice for just getting something down. Even if it's not like a masterpiece, you can kind of hint at what it's meant to be really quickly. Got 20 seconds left on this one. Okay. And this very cute koala that we will be drawing again afterwards, because they are adorable. Okay, 1 minute starting now. I always find with koalas it's actually easiest to start with the nose. You've got 30 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. And then with these birds, I'm just going to do one. Don't feel like you have to do 2 birds in a minute, but you might, I'll just zoom out slightly because you might decide to do like the walking one or this standing one. So a minute starting now. Wading birds are some of my favourite birds because of their super long beaks and then very scrawny legs. I think I would have to be a wading bird if I was a bird. And it's kind of thing that you can play around with and elongate either their legs or beak to kind of give extra character. You've got 15 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. Well done, guys. We've already done 9. That's insane. Okay, 10. Let's do this meerkat. 1 minute starting now. It's a slightly harder perspective, this one, because of his face. You've got 30 seconds left. Ten seconds. My meerkat does not look like a meerkat. Okay, that is your meerkat done. Then we're changing complete perspective and we're going underneath. So you might want to start with the roundness of the body before you add in the head and the feet. I think that's kind of the easiest way to go about the underneath angle. So 1 minute starting now. You've got 20 seconds left. You might start to find that some feel a lot like more time than others. Okay, that is your minute. Then we're going on to another bird, going on to a little duck. So we'll start now. Also, I forgot to say, if anybody thinks of any questions about anything that I've chatted about, or my patron or anything like that, either pop it in the chat or ask away, or if you think about it afterwards, just you can send me an email, or you can send me an Instagram message and I'll reply there as well. I know I've kind of thrown a lot of information at you tonight. You've got no seconds left. That is your minute. And then one of my faves, we'll go on to a seal. So we'll start that now. You might have filled a page, or I'm kind of probably maybe one space for one more left. And then I'll have to do a new page. You've got 20 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. This little fish that seems absolutely massive, so I'll have to just do that. So you might want to do this one, super small, this one, or you might want to do it big, but yeah, just think about that when you're kind of doing your scales or whatever. So we'll do 1 minute starting now. I can definitely fit this guy in on this page. And then a little trick with fish is just remember their bottom lip comes like it's further out than their top lip. And it always gives them that kind of like gaunt look. You've got 30 seconds left. Okay. And this toucan, I'm going to have to go onto a new page, I think, for him. Okay, right. 1 minute starting now. Try to get a nice variety in here so you've got a whole bunch. If you're quite new to drawing, you're giving everything a go tonight. It's so nice seeing people from all around the place here tonight. I've seen Portugal, the US, obviously the UK. So do say in the chat where you're from. It's really nice to see. Canada, amazing. Whereabouts in Canada are you, Amanda? I said I wouldn't ask questions, and here I am asking questions, sorry. Germany, Lake District, Montreal, Canada, amazing. Toronto, Germany. This is amazing. I'm going to have to not draw the next one and see where you're all from. Okay. That token went wrong. We'll draw this lemur while I read all where you're from. Okay, a minute starting now. Got Essex, Pennsylvania, Scotland, Brighton, Turkey, Netherlands, London, Manitoba. Really cool seeing Belgium, in India, Switzerland, another Belgium. Incredible. So cool. Thank you so much for coming. Wisconsin, Italy. Sophie, yes, I know where you live. You've got 20 seconds left on the lemur. Israel, Finland. I feel like I need to have like a little scratch map. I feel like I'm scratching off everybody here tonight. This is so exciting. Thank you for making the time. Got 2 seconds. And we got another little fish. A little Nemo clownfish. I know it's not the sharpest, but sometimes that can actually help because it means you're not looking at all of the details. Okay, we'll go a minute starting now. I almost feel sometimes like clownfish can sometimes be easier because it's almost like they're in blocks, so you can kind of draw the blocks. But saying that, I'll just wait to see how mine comes out first. Got 20 seconds left. That's your minute. Okay, we're over halfway through. This one, which can feel scary, but if you like the look of it, we actually drew him on my how to draw patron tier, so you can have a nice slower kind of tutorial of how to draw this guy in detail if you like the look of him. So 1 minute starting now. I feel like tonight some of my animals are coming out very cute and some of them are coming out pretty creepy. And this is one of the creepier ones. You've got 13 seconds left. Okay, that's your minute. Number 19, this little rabbit. Okay, start now. If you're feeling overwhelmed, feel free to give like one a miss and then come in again for the next one. Don't feel like you have to draw them all, or you could just draw like its face and head. Sometimes it's like hard to kind of keep your brain focused drawing this many, but amazing to all of you that do give it all a go. You've got 17 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. 20, so we just got 12 more to do. This one's slightly harder, but I am currently working on a book which involves these guys. So I thought I'd throw one in. And I absolutely love cheetahs. I think they're beautiful. So let's give it a go. 1 minute starting now. Again, you might want to, I've started to get quite big with my drawings, and I think that's where I'm going wrong. So I'm going to try and bring the size down a bit. And cheetahs have got really round heads. That is the trick to them. Got 30 seconds left. I've literally only drawn the head, so let me get some body in. Okay, that is your minute. And we're going to the small now, and we're going to draw this guy. 1 minute starting now. I'm going to go real small, I think. You've got 20 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. And then we're going to mice. I debated whether putting this in or not because I love mice, but I know it's probably very split. But if you hate mice, look away for a minute and then come back again. I'll tell you when we're done. Okay, minute starting now. And if you like mice or rabbits or squirrels, I've also done a how to draw on those as well on my Patreon. So if you're kind of wondering about how to get their bodies right and things, it's all on there. You've got 16 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. Let me move this over. And then a cockerel. 1 minute starting now. Hopefully you're all enjoying this. I know it's a lot, but but it didn't quite have the same ring to it to say, I'm turning 32, let's draw 10 things. We don't always do quick drawings in my patron Zooms either. We have a variety of like, sometimes we'll have some quick ones and then slow ones, and other times we'll just take it slow. We might make a little like concertina book, or like fill a page and make a scene. We just made a scene of above and below ponds for the pond in the last 2 Zooms. We spread it over 2. That's your minute. So I kind of try to keep it really like lots of variety. We've made stories up, or we've tried to think, Laura, Katie, you know, what have we drawn? We've drawn so many different things on there. So if it like, it's not all just suddenly drawing everything in a minute on there. This is actually one of Ben's photos. It's from our recent trip to Kenya. And this little baby was so cute. So he had to come in. I think it could be a she. We'll do 1 minute starting now. You've got 30 seconds left. That is your minute. And then this next one is also from our trip to Kenya. Just pick one bird. Don't overwhelm yourself with more, but I love the guinea fowl. So yeah, whichever one of basically these 2 kind of take your fancy, give them a go. Okay, and 1 minute starting now. They have the scrawniest necks. It's great. And these ones, I think, were the vulture guinea fowl, if I remember correctly. You've got 15 seconds left. Okay, that is your minute. Just a few left. We've got this tortoise starting now. So if you've got like a little corner where you kind of got a slimmer section, this might be the place to pop him. Got 20 seconds left. Helmet guinea fowl, thank you. That is correct. I knew it was something to do with the thing on the head, but I couldn't remember which one. And then one of my faves, little red squirrel. If you have time, and you want to add the tail, you should know how it looks. It's just this big fluffy long thing. Just add that in. Okay, 1 minute starting now. I love how fluffy their ears are. You've got 15 seconds left. Okay. We have got, I think, 5 more. So we will go into the last 5. Right, this little bird starting now. You've got 20 seconds left. And then I thought I'd just throw something in big. We'll see if it was a mistake or not a mistake. We'll try 1 minute on this lion starting now. If you just want to try and do the face, that is great. "25 seconds. I'm going to only manage to do the head on this. So anybody that's managed to do the rest I want notes. I want tips. Three seconds. Okay, that is your time. The last 3, this goosey gander. 1 minute starting now. I really want to try and fit all these on this page now. I'm determined. "20 seconds left, just under. last two, one of my fave ever animals. I'm gonna have to start a new page. This is a disaster. Going into the raccoon for 1 minute. Starting when I get to my page now. Thirty seconds left. Ten seconds. Okay, and the very last one, a little frog. I could put him on the other page. So we'll finish with this little guy on our quick drawings, and then I'll show my face again before we do the next little bit. 1 minute starting now. Thirty seconds left. Twenty seconds left. Okay, that is it on our quick drawing. So well done to everyone. Let me just stop sharing this because I'm just going to show you. I hope you all managed to get through it okay. We'll slow down now for 3 drawings, but I'll just let you kind of gather yourself. It's very intense, and so I know that it's like a lot on the brain, but I think it's fun because again, just as I said at the beginning, I'll spotlight myself because when there's some on here that I'm personally like, oh no, what did I do wrong here? But when they're all on a page, they just look fun. So my first page here, which one was I kind of like? The meerkat, for instance, I'm not quite sure. Hopefully it's getting dark in this room now, but not quite sure what's going on here. But like, for instance, the seal I really like. And yeah, there's a few there that's like, ugh. And then this one, this one involves probably the most terrifying chameleon I've ever drawn in my life. But again, like, and the line I didn't manage to finish, but then on a page, it just looks like a page of quick drawings. So it doesn't matter. And I had to just do a whole page just for that little raccoon because I had to be drawn. He couldn't be missed out. But I hope you're all okay and still here. If you've got any, the line was a sneaky one. Sorry, Amanda, it was sneaky. I'm just looking at the chat. If you've got any questions now and you were thinking about it, but you were too busy, either have a little like unmute and say anything or just pop it in the chat and I can have a look. But we're also going to be going on now to do 3 10-minute drawings. So I've got you for half an hour longer. 5 pages. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. We've got 3 pages of unfinished drawings, 5 pages. They weren't meant to be finished. If you want to go and finish them, then brilliant. But also don't feel like you have to suddenly make all these 1-minute drawings perfect. The whole point of them is to have them really quick and raw and loose. Done in 1 page, amazing. They must be mini 2 A3s. bear. So Kylie said my bear tutorials came in handy, which I've got on my Patreon. Yeah, that black bear is from there because I love that black bear. So we had to draw it again. 2 small pages, 605. Do pop in the chat. I was using my Fude pen, which is spelt like Fude, so Fude. It's a sailor pen, and it like basically is a fountain pen that looks like it's got a little like bend on the end, but you can buy it from like Cult Pens and things. But I will send a link. I'll pop a link on my Instagram afterwards, and I'll also pop it in the email that I send out as well. So if you're kind of like, what was it again, do not worry, I'll be able to send it to you. But it's a super, I love this pen. It's super nice to use, and what's great is it's not expensive, and you just use those like waterproof sailor inks that you kind of shove onto it just like a normal fountain pen. Let me just have a quick look at the chat before we move on. 6 pages, A6. This is so fun. What's holding your phone? Oh, it's some kind of horrible claw. If I spotlight you again, I'm sorry, I should have said at the beginning, this horrible, ugly claw is holding my phone recording. I want to get a prettier one, but it's one of those like clamps that you can put on your desk and then move it around so that your phone looks on your screen, so on your page. So if you're liking the idea of recording yourself working, I highly recommend. I can also throw a link out there on Instagram afterwards as well. If there's anything that you want to see linked or anything, I won't be able to do it right now because I'll have you here for ages, but pop it in the chat and then I can make notes to make sure to send links out to you guys. Okay, let's go on to I'll just get it up. Hang on 1 second. Cancel that. The 3 drawings. So where did you go? 10 minutes. So with these slower ones, you might be loving whatever material you just used. And you might want to just use the exact same material but slower, or you might be like, right, I'm done with my black and white idea and I want to try with some color. So if you've got any color, go ahead. Just think 10 minutes will feel really long, but also not long enough for watercolors to necessarily dry unless you've got like a hairdryer to hand, which is a great tip. Yeah, if you're painting, just take it slow. Remember, you don't have to finish anything in this session. If you want to just enjoy 10 minutes and you just get the base down of something, then brilliant. It doesn't have to be that you finish with 3 like final pictures. But I will start my timer, and then now's the time, because the other one was so quick. If you're wanting to come on and chat a little bit, I can chat a bit more and talk at you. But if there's anything, you want to know, this is your time, because it'll feel a lot more relaxed now. So I'll start the timer, 10 minutes starting now, and we'll draw this one. Did everybody get on okay? Is everyone still here?
I did. I'm back.
You're back, Avril. I've missed you. Avril's been gone because she had a little baby girly.
I feel exhausted after that.
You're right. When I was putting them all together, I was literally, Avril's one of my patrons, and she's always here on the Zooms. And when I was putting the pictures together, I thought, oh, Avril's going to love this one. She's not going to love this one.
Yeah, some of my animals are questionable.
How did you get on with the meerkat? Because that was
horrendous. Mine is. It looks hilarious. He's another one of my animals that don't look like what they're supposed to.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the book that you publish one day of animals that don't look like they're supposed to.
Oh dear. I think I might start doing that soon.
You should.
This could be this catalyst. I'll be like at Becca Hall's 32nd birthday. This is how it started.
Yes. That would be brilliant. It's so good. I've just realised that I started drawing this hedgehog so small because I think I was in my brain of being like, oh yeah, small and quick, small and quick. But it's lovely to have you back, Avril. Thanks for coming.
What did you do for your birthday while we've got you? I saw you went rollerblading or no, skateboarding?
Skating. Yeah, I went skating. I went out for a lovely lunch down in Mousehole. There's a restaurant called the Old Coast Guard, and Ben and I went there, and it was really lovely. But we went for a morning surf, which was my first surf since breaking my foot. So yeah, that was it didn't quite go to plan just because the waves weren't quite what I'd hoped for, but I got back in 2 days later and had a much better time. But I wasn't quite expecting the worry of like breaking my foot again to kind of come on so hard when I was in there. But the second time was a lot easier, and then I went again yesterday or the other day, and that was really nice as well. So it's just kind of easing back in, but it was nice to skate and surf on my birthday. And
is how you broke your foot a common surfer injury, or was it a freak?
No, it's a freak.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, nobody I know who surfs has ever known anybody to break their foot like that surfing. So hopefully that means it will never happen again.
Yeah.
What's happened here? Sorry, 1 second. Yes, but yeah, and what else did I do? I had a nice barbecue with some friends as well on at the weekend of my birthday, which was really nice.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not sure what to do that. Like, you know, with these drawings, because I kind of was like, yeah, pen, and now I'm like,
mine is so small, it's probably the smallest I've ever drawn.
Yeah.
Because of how quick I'm going with it though. I'm not even
Yeah, go with it. It can be the cutest little hedgehog ever.
He doesn't look like a hedgehog, but I know he is a hedgehog. He looks like an inch and similar. He's got a long snout.
A real long snout, but it might just be the angle, maybe. Also, let me just open the chat. It's closed again. Don't know if this is anybody's first ever drawing Zoom. I hope I haven't kind of put you off for life. I hope I've kind of given you some inspiration to give things like this a go, or even just kind of get into drawing more if it's something you're wanting to get into. But yeah, if it's your first time, let me know, or if you do lots of different drawing classes, I know there's loads out there. That's always nice to know as well.
I've had a question about how would you suggest drawing his little face?
So I have drawn it a bit like a soft triangle that then comes like down into this little dot. So make it quite long and then just draw that nice like round raisin type nose at the end. If it's looking piggy, it might just be that you've gone slightly too big with your nose, or you've got the snout coming round your nose, whereas this little nose literally sticks out by itself. And then doing a dot eye always makes these little guys look super cute. But yeah, if it's all about that kind of triangle, and then on the top you've got the slight curve down into it, so it's not too sharp. But if you made it sharp, that doesn't matter. It can kind of be its character. I hope that helps.
And we've got a question on drawing texture.
Yeah.
So how to draw the texture without drawing every single quill. And a
Okay.
lot of lovely comments as well of people saying they're really enjoying it. And it's a few first timers as well who are having a great time.
Oh, great. Well, that's wonderful to know. So with texture, do patches. So I'm using like a pencil crayon to do some super scribbly, scratchy patches, but just follow the direction that those like spines are going. So they're all going away to the left. Whereas if you were to do them down, it would change the whole shape of like how the hedgehog feels. So if you're kind of just doing lots of scribbly kind of spines, and then you can always just go in with a pen and just add a few details here and there rather than having to think about every single spine. And I feel like if you add a bit more kind of around the face where it joins the face, and then you can kind of fade off a bit, that often gives it the best like feel of a hedgehog. Saying that, mine's not going that well tonight, but the theory is there.
And then someone has just mentioned eyes. How do you deal with eyes?
Dot eyes. I love like just literally a little dot as an eye rather than like trying to draw that whole eye. I feel like you can add so much character from a dot. And a really good practice that one of my uni tutors said was, maybe not today, but like you could kind of go away and think about it, is do a dot eye in light pencil in lots of different places, because you'll start to understand like, oh, if I put the dot eye right down towards the nose, it will look one way. And then if you do it kind of really near the top of the head, it'll look another way. And it might be that it looks surprised one way or angry another way, but this one's quite dead center. So you can kind of go right in the center and go quite small with your eye, because you can always add more to it, but you can't take it away. That is my tip.
And then moving down to the feet.
The feet, they're so cute. So literally you've got some kind of straight tree trunks, and then you've got the flatness coming out. So if you just get that shape in, it might be with a brush pen or with a pencil crayon or something, and then you can go over it with pen and just slightly add, I'm just going to slightly add some like little kind of claws, but again going the direction. I'm trying to think if I've done hedgehogs on how to draw. If I haven't, I will definitely do one soon, but I can't remember if I have or not. But yes, you're getting those like kind of little trunks on the front, and on the back they're much more like tucked under, so you're just putting this super like little tucked under foot rather than the downward foot.
You have done hedgehogs.
Have I? Brilliant.
I'm pretty sure you have.
I thought I had.
Someone else said you have as well. You have.
There's a lot on there, guys.
Yeah.
There's so much I've forgotten what's on there.
I was going to say, because that's the only reason I'm knowing what to do with the back foot.
Okay, well that's perfect then. So yeah, I talk about all this on there, and I talk through exactly like how to build up each section, including like the spines and stuff on its back. But yeah, there's 2.5 years worth of content on there, so loads to kind of catch up on. I'm sure there's something for everyone. Okay, that is your 10 minutes for the hedgehog, but we'll go on to the koala. Don't worry if you haven't finished. I certainly haven't finished. I kind of took a little bit for my brain to get into a different type of role rather than doing super quick. So we'll go again, 10 minutes starting now. So I'm happy to talk through a little bit as we do this. For anybody, I've got a koalas one on my Patreon, just FYI. But yeah, I think it's always quite good to start with the nose for the koala, because it's just like that nice round black kind of oblongy shape, and then you can build round it, so you can get that like round head and those fluffy ears, and then that nice big body. And the body is bigger than you think in proportion to the head. So if you feel like it's looking odd, just check your body to head ratio. And if you feel like your head is way too big, you can just add more to the body, or if it's vice versa, just add a little bit more to your head. Especially if you're using brush pens, that's when it's like a really good material for this, because you can easily add before you add details, because you can kind of see your shape. Still drawing small though, I can't get over it now. Got this big page. I love Tombow brush pens and Echelina brush pens. You can buy both from Jackson's if you're in the UK, or I need to learn about some online shops abroad, but basically they are quite like easy to get hold of in lots of places, and you can buy them as individual colors rather than buying full sets. You can just buy the colors that you actually feel like you'd use.
Nikki has said that it looks like Princess Leia already.
I love that with the ears. That's brilliant.
And a suggestion for Germany and Switzerland is a place called, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Bosna, for buying materials.
Bosna.
And then Michael's and Curry's in Canada.
Oh, great. Some brilliant tips.
Oh, well pronounced, thanks. I mean, there's separate stores as well. So Michael's or Curry's, you don't have to go to both.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you might want to go.
And then we've got, I'm going to say Schlieper around Germany too.
Yeah, Schleiper.
Schleiper.
Okay. Schleiper. Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
This is brilliant because yeah.
Great tips.
Yes.
I have to add this email for everyone to check out.
Yeah, especially because there's so many different, like, people from different places here.
Oh wow, we've got more for Germany. I'm not even trying.
Don't worry, if you're around Germany, have a look in the chat and note anything down if you're wanting to know about some art shops, because that's super useful. Anywhere else from people.
And Netherlands as well.
Netherlands, nice.
Someone said they love your how-to videos.
Oh, thank you.
Someone's having a problem opening the videos from Vimeo. Will you put them on YouTube?
I can't move them all to YouTube easily. It would be a massive operation. But I don't know why they're not working on Vimeo. I'm wondering if you could just like send me an email or a Patreon message or anything afterwards about what's showing. I can see if that's something on my end.
A screenshot of what happens would be really useful.
Yeah,
so we can try and work it out with. Thank you.
Yeah, if it's my end, or if it's something that like Vimeo need to sort out of, yeah, basically then we can figure it out. That's brilliant.
So the question from Catlin is, what tips do you have for someone who's only ever drawn realistically and drawing exactly what they can see?
Oh, that's hard. That is a hard question.
Great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say, hopefully, I'm hoping the minute drawings helped you a bit, because it like might have helped loosen you up a bit so you can't put everything in there. But changing things like the eyes is a super easy tip. I'm not saying you have to then stick to dot eyes at all, because you might be like, oh, that's not for me. But I feel like eyes hold so much realism. So if you end up, oh, we can't see the koala. How odd. Can anyone else see the koala? Hopefully, I don't know what I can see. I'll have a look and see. Lovely. Thanks, Beth. Thank you
Thanks
for coming.
I wonder if, Lily, you may have accidentally pinned another screen.
Oh, yes, maybe.
On Zoom.
But yes, with the like making something less realistic, it's kind of about the eyes, and also maybe like putting a little smile on it. So if it's got like a smile, it's kind of much more likely to look like a children's book character or something than realistic. And it might just be that first tip that then you're like, okay, now I've practiced the dot eyes and I've worked out other ways of making it feel less realistic, and you might kind of revert to a slightly different kind of eye, which still isn't super realistic, but it might be like a dot and like an eyelid. And have a look at other illustrators and see kind of like try and analyze what they do to faces to make them look less realistic, or bodies or whatever. Do they elongate the bodies or make the hands and feet really small? So there's various ways, but yeah, have a look at illustrators that you love and what they kind of do, and then just give it a go. And it's basically like lots of practice and just trying trial and error really, and not having too much pressure on each drawing. You've got 2 minutes left. It says Becca Hall's screen. How odd. Oh, sorry. I've just gone off it and on again. Hopefully, I'm really sorry, Lily. I'm not sure. I've got 3 screens. So I've got one that Ben's on my desk, and then me, and then 4 screens, and then also the one I'm sharing.
Have you got the link to it that we could put in the chat quickly from your other one?
The pictures?
Too hard to stick out. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure I can drop in pictures. What I don't want to do is to like make it disappear, you know, when you...
Yeah, no, that's fair. What photo platform was it on?
It's on Unsplash, but I've saved them.
Okay, that's fine. I'll find it.
Okay. Not sure how to add an image. You've got 1 minute left on the koala.
Becca, I'm going to have to go, but I will be back next month.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for coming, Abel. See you next month.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Just over a minute left.
I can't actually find the photo.
We're about to move on, but
That's okay. We'll move on. Yeah.
hopefully be able to see the next one. I'm really sorry about that. I hate tech when it goes wrong.
Lily, what can you see on your screen?
Apparently it just says Becca Hall's screen or something.
So just black. It's a grey screen. Oh, right.
I don't quite know how that's happened.
If you try clicking on someone else's screen to make it full screen, if you go back participants and then clicking back onto Becca's, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Our time is up for the koala, so we're just going to do 10 more minutes and draw this little elephant.
So
oh wow, 1 a.m. That's so late. Thank you so much for coming. That's really kind. Okay, 10 minutes starting now, and then I will let you all go and enjoy the rest of your evening or whatever you're up to.
has the elephant come up on your screen, Lily?
Otherwise it might be it's annoying though being here, but it might be a thing of Just
No, hasn't seen them.
how
I could see them.
Are you on an iPad, Lily, or like a computer?
Saw them all up until the koala. Yeah,
Oh, that's really, really odd, but everyone else can
on
see
the
it.
computer. Yeah, you could just quickly unshare your screen and
Yeah,
reshare
let
your
me
screen.
try that.
That
Yeah, I will stop sharing and try again. Share screen. Hopefully this kind of zips it up for you and
Fingers crossed it works.
Yeah.
You could definitely try that as well. Yeah, that's a cunning idea.
Which one is it? Oh, leave and rejoin. Yes, see, it will be open.
Yeah. Yeah, don't have the dinner burn. A few other people have to shoot off.
No worries. Thank you so much for coming. I'll just say now, just as people are leaving as well, if you are wanting to share anything that you've drawn tonight on socials, I'll ask Ben just to put in the chat. My handle on Instagram is @Becca_illustration. If you tag me, then I can share it. But also if you use the hashtag #TheCreativeCrew, all one word, that's the hashtag I use for my Patreon. And you can follow that hashtag and see what everybody it kind of does on my Patreon when they share it on Instagram, and it's a really nice way of seeing it. But also, yeah, we can see each other's work and I can share it on my socials, and it's just a nice way of connecting. So yeah, please do tag me in so people are like can see as well where you kind of tonight, and I can share it on my page as well.
Great news. Lily is back in action, drawing elephant.
Brilliant. Brilliant. But I'd love to see anybody's work that they were pleased with tonight or anything. So yeah, do there won't be time to share tonight on here, but do share online and give me a little tag.
So Laura has asked, what do you do with your sketches? How do you take a sketch and turn it into a finished piece?
So it depends. Some of them I'd literally just keep in my sketchbook and I just see it as like a nice practice, and I might post it on Instagram, and others I'm like, I love that and I want to turn it into something else and put it on a print or anything. And there's something with that where I've got to make sure that any references I used for that illustration are copyright free, because if I then wanted to use it for anything other than sharing, I can do that if the image that I drew from is copyright free. But to turn it into something finished piece, I scan the work in on my scanner and then clean it up on Photoshop, and kind of arrange it on Photoshop. And I've got an entire video literally kind of step by step of how I do this on my advanced techniques tier on my Patreon. And as I said at the beginning, I do have a 7-day free trial. So if it's something you're like, oh, I'd love to have a look at that, head over to my Patreon. Ben, is there any way you can pop a link in?
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, go and check it out. Just search for like Photoshop. I think it's called How I Scan and Clean Up on Photoshop or something like that. And it talks about which scanner I have, how I clean up a sketch, how I then turn it into something final. But it might be, if it's just a nice sketchbooky piece that I just want to post, I might just take a picture of it with my phone of my book on my desk and post that on Instagram. So it depends what I want to use it for. but yeah, I've got all my tips and stuff on my advanced techniques tier about that.
Link to the Patreon in there now.
Thanks.
And I think you've also got a video on this one, but it's another great question. Do you have any tips on finding your own style?
Yes, I've kind of talked a bit about this in loads of my videos. Like I kind of keep touching it, and I've also spoken about it, I'm sure, I did a Q&A on my Patreon as well on the advanced techniques tier, and I'm sure I answered that. And I will tell you a little bit about it now, but it's basically a lot of like time, and I hate saying that because I know it's so much nicer when someone just gives you like a kind of, oh, I did this and then this, but it's a lot of time of just drawing over and over again, but also just being like constantly looking at other people's work and kind of and taking it in and thinking, what is it about that piece that inspires me? And it doesn't mean you're going to then go out and be like, all right, I want to try and copy that piece. But it's like, is it the colors? Is it that they've used really bright colors, or is it their line work that I love? You know, it might, for instance, Quentin Blake, it might be that his line work is so unique and it's got so much character because it's so loose. So you might think, I'm going to have a go at drawing like with loose lines. And if you give all these things a go, there'll be some things that stick. So you'll be like, oh, I actually really like that technique in my work. Or as you do it more, you will develop it naturally. So without really trying, you might start by trying to copy Quentin Blake a bit, but then the more you do it, you will start to develop your own style, because you just will. Everybody's different, so you'll just kind of start to use the pen a bit more differently and more unique to you. And yeah, but just I have like a saved folder on my Instagram. So if I'm like scrolling through Instagram and I see someone's sketchbook page or someone's book illustration or anything that I'm like, wow, that's amazing, I save it, just because like it's quite nice to be able to have this inspiration board. And then you can be like, if you're ever feeling stuck, you might be like, I'll have a look on that. And it's like, oh yeah, that person did really nice nighttime scenes. I might give nighttime scenes a go, or I might try using these 3 colors, because there's artists on Instagram that quite often will do little challenges for themselves. So they'll be like, oh, I'm just going to do this drawing with 3 colors, and they'll share which colors they're using. So you could give a drawing a go with those 3 colors or something like that. So it's just lots of experimenting and trying what you like of other people's work. Hope that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You've got 1 minute, 1 minute and a half left on this elephant. I'm also doing a live Q&A on Sunday, the 27th of August, as part of my Patreon. It's on tier 4, so it's on the top tier Creative Crew, the Zoom one, because I was doing this Zoom this month. Instead of doing another Zoom with them, I'm doing a live Q&A. So it's just a 1 hour drop in from 4 till 5 on Sunday the 27th, but it is going to be recorded just for Patreon on that tier. So if you can't make that hour, but you're interested in things, you can join and send some like questions to me, and I can answer them during that hour. And yeah, it's a great way of kind of finding out specific answers that you might have to anything illustration. It might be about freelance life, about style, about materials, about failures and like wins, anything that you kind of wonder about in the life of a full-time illustrator. That's what that hour is going to be about.
So Laura has said she's been on a Patreon for 1.5 years and felt her illustrations have really improved, which is amazing. She said she's learned so much and is really grateful. Thanks. Paula, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, has said your work's very inspiring. I have a question for Amanda.
Yes.
Who says, I have attempted to add something that's not there, that she wants to add a tail to the elephant.
Yes, absolutely. You can do whatever you want as an illustrator. That is the best thing. So like, just like you can not put something in. So when I was at Boardmasters illustrating last weekend, there was bins everywhere, which was great because it kept the festival really tidy, but I didn't want to draw bins. So I literally didn't draw a single bin. So you can draw scenes without drawing bits that you feel just don't complement the scene. And just like the elephant, in my 1 minute one, I added a little tail flicking out the back because it just felt like it needed it. And these elephants do flick their tails all the time, and I think we just got this shot as it was flicking it the other way. So yeah, I add things all the time because nobody can tell you off because you're an illustrator. You can do what you want. Thank you so much, Laura Katie, for your lovely message about being on my Patreon. Laura's been on my tier 4 drawing Zooms one for a while, and it's been so lovely getting to know her through the Zooms and stuff. And it's a really nice way of connecting with other illustrators around the world. And you feel like you really know them even though you've never met in person. And it's a really lovely way of kind of just learning about different people and different styles of work, because we all work really differently. And we get kind of, I know we all add to our online shopping lists after chatting to each other about various materials, and yeah, it's really nice. That's so nice to see, Gemma. I'm just reading the chat. I'm glad the time went quickly because it's always nerve-wracking. I never want it to drag for anybody, so I'm really glad. This elephant is now finished. I'm just going to give you 5 seconds literally to tidy it up, and then I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to just pin myself to wind down. Spotlight for everyone. So thank you so much for coming. It was amazing to see how many of you came when I first kind of announced it. It's always nerve-wracking thinking like, are people gonna come? And so to see all of you decide to like take time out of your Thursday evening, night, morning, whatever, wherever you are, and join in has been super nice. I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the 1 minute drawings. I kind of almost like was so into that I couldn't get into a flow of the 10-minute ones, but I love these, and I'll pop them on Instagram. I'll make sure to share about my pen and the pens I use and things tonight on Instagram. But yeah, do tag me. Ben put it earlier, but it's Becca Hall Illustration, and the hashtag is The Creative Crew, all one word. And if you're not on Instagram, but you really would love for me to see your work, just send me an email or anything, because I would love to see it. It's always so nice seeing what everybody's created. But I really hope you enjoyed it and you feel like you got something from this evening, even if it was just to take a bit of time out and try something different. But don't worry if you kind of don't feel like you're quite there yet. It's not about that. I hope you got inspired to give it a go a bit more, whether it's through my Patreon or whether you just feel inspired to kind of find some pictures online and maybe give yourself some timed drawing challenges or whatever. There's no pressure to kind of, not going to follow up and be like, where are you? Are you going to come and join? So yeah, it was just to kind of show my face to more of you and to do this because I really enjoy doing these. So thank you so much for coming.
And sorry, I was going to say, quite a few requests for seeing your work if you're going to do a quick show of yours.
Yes, I will show it. Absolutely. The end I got, because I was answering questions. So these end ones are not how I would normally do things, but the hedgehog, you can kind of see the more like pointier nose there. But I normally kind of use a lot more materials than these, but I was just really enjoying chatting with you guys, because I think the first half hour I was like, I want to have a chat. So it's really nice to answer some questions. But I'd love to see anybody's work. So do send it over. I will take a picture as well. So you can, because I know on Zoom at night time, it's always a bit fuzzy online. So I will take a picture as well and share with you guys. Was there any other questions then that I've missed or anything?
that I've seen. People have said a great challenge, hard, but they've been loving it.
Brilliant.
Sure to share.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I just want everyone to feel like even a little smidgen of inspiration to just give drawing a go more, because it's super fun and relaxing, and it's really nice. The more people, the amount of people that say to me, oh, you draw for a living, I can't draw anything, and I'm like, not true, everyone can draw. So it's so nice for everyone to come along tonight, and I hope to see you all soon in one form or another. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, everybody. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.